Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's the Ultimate Feeder here, and tonight it's Sunday night and I thought I'd just do a little chatty vlog for you this week. And I asked my Instagram followers for some questions to give me inspiration on what to chat to you about. So over the past couple of hours, just while we're getting the kids to bed, I've managed to get quite a variety of questions, very interesting ones, so I thought we'll just go through them. Let's go! So as you would expect, there's lots of food questions, meal planning in particular. The first question is, do you plan what meals you're having for the week or just improvise as you go along? Well, I rarely meal plan, and even if I do try and meal plan, I never stick to it. So really, I wing it. I wing it on a day-to-day basis. For example, this week, in fact, since I started my YouTube channel, I've been doing my regular Aldi hauls. I have been scribbling down a little kind of shopping list with meal ideas before I run into Aldi. You'll have seen that on my Aldi haul videos, but it never really pans out like that. Something always happens. So this week I had thought I would do a few meals, including a katsu curry, but I didn't get round to that because Friday night, which was katsu curry night, I ended up having visitors that were here for lunch stay for tea, and I thought I can't use my chicken breast for katsu curry because there won't be enough to get round everyone, so I just chopped it up, the chicken breasts and made a Thai green curry with it instead. Had some prawns in the freezer to bulk it out, so I did that, chucked it in some veg, and that worked perfectly. So there's always other things that you can do with ingredients in your fridge, and that's what I kind of like to do. When I go to Aldi, if I see, or any supermarket, if I see like certain meats or vegetables on offer, then I will buy them, and I just know in my head what meals I can make with those ingredients. So as long as I've got something that I can make a meal out of for each day of the week, then it will happen. And I always have stuff in my cupboard to mix in. So somebody asked me, the other question was, what's on the menu this week? I'm stuck. So I had messaged her back. I know that she had lots of chicken that she wanted to use. So just off the top of my head, I was thinking chicken breasts can be chopped up. You can make them into a stir fry. Like that would be my go-to thing. If I'm in a hurry, I would just chop up whatever veg I had in my fridge. So peppers, onions, carrots. I probably have some broccoli lurking about in there. Sugar snap peas. Chuck them into a stir fry with some ginger and garlic, basically. And then throw in some soy sauce, some oyster sauce maybe, and boil up some noodles, put that all together. Bit of fish sauce maybe some hoisin sauce, maybe some sweet chili sauce, whatever I feel like. I just throw it all in there and it'll be fine. It's just chicken, noodles and vegetables. What can go wrong? Sprinkle some sesame seeds on top, a sprig of coriander. Looks like you meant it. Another chicken dish that I have been doing recently is a chicken pineapple dish, because I always have a tin of pineapple in the cupboard. So it's really easy. My dad taught me it from when he had Chinese takeaways. So that's in my highlights on my Instagram page. It's just basically salt, sugar, corn flour, water, chicken, pineapple, onion. Done. Crazy that that's the ingredients, but that's what it is. Some soy sauce. Yes, I love your recipes. Do you use a slow cooker? Any good ideas? So quite often, if I know that I'm going to be out all day, won't be back until tea time, I'll just chuck everything in the slow cooker in the morning. And one of my favourite go-to recipes is a chicken tagine type thing. It's not a tagine at all because it's cooked in the slow cooker. I don't know why I call it that, but that's just how I refer to things with like dried apricots with a Moroccan twist on it. It's a tagine, okay? Just chicken, onions, whatever veg. I normally put peppers and carrots in it, and chicken stock pot, apricots, bit of cinnamon, ginger. Can't remember what else I'd chuck in that. I save it all in my Keep notes on my phone. And if you don't have the Keep app, how do you survive? So I save everything in there. Recipes that I like, stuff for the school, like all the letters that we get from school, I just save them in there. Like doctor's appointments, Leo's vaccination appointments, for example, pop that in my Keep app. Any ideas that I have for buying birthday presents, for example, pop it in my Keep app. I'd love some more one-pot vegetable dishes. Any ideas? So probably one of my favourite one-pot vegetable dishes is a cauliflower curry. It is so quick, easy and tasty. It surprises me every time. With some mango chutney and poppadoms on the side and rice, that is delicious. And it's just cauliflower, a tin of chopped tomatoes, some stock, some curry powder and turmeric and something else. Don't know, chili, garlic and ginger anyway. But it's on my feed in lots of places. On my feed a few times and in my highlights, I think. But yeah, you can chuck potatoes in that as well. I love that. Or you could just make it a potato curry. Or my auntie used to make a really yummy potato and green bean curry. And it would just, like, if you just use the same method, fry your onions, put in your spices, your garlic, your ginger, and then a tin of chopped tomatoes and whatever veg, simmer it down. Perfect. Any advice on what to do with leftovers, especially after a roast? Yes, just fry them up with some garlic paste. Quite often, after a roast, you've got lots of veggies left over, and I just like to fry them up, especially if you've got roast tatties. So chop up some roast tatties, chop up your roast veg, whatever, throw it in a frying pan with some oil and some garlic paste, and then fry it all up. Maybe chuck in a couple of handfuls of kale or spinach to bulk it out a bit, and then just serve it on the bottom of a couple of poached eggs. You could even like throw in some chorizo. I always have that in my fridge. Fry up some chorizo. That'll give everything a nice flavour, bit of a pink tinge. Chuck your veggies in. You could beat your eggs and throw that in, and it could be like a frittata type thing. Delicious. What else? Pastry. If you've got a sheet of puff pastry in your fridge, you could just roll that out. You could put some pesto on there, chop up your roast veggies, roll it up like a sausage roll, brush with egg to seal, sprinkle some seeds on top, roast it. Beautiful. Next question. Oh, love this one. Can you tell us more about cold water swimming? How often, how long in the water, etc. Tips. So, I discovered cold water swimming at my friend's 40th at Cameron House at the end of September, beginning of October. She had been in once before, she'd absolutely loved it, so she encouraged us all to go in while we stayed at Cameron House. There was, I don't know what loch it was. I don't know if it was Loch Lomond, but it was a loch at Cameron House. And we all just went in for a quick dip, and because I hadn't done it before, everyone was amazed when I just like strode on in there. But I don't know why. I was just like, that's fine, I'll just get in, everyone else can do it. Just went in and I loved it, and I could stay in for quite some time without like perishing, and I wasn't even like chittery after it. So I thought, oh, I actually really love this. There's something so like wild and free and invigorating about it. So since then, I then went into Pit and Weem. It's the sea, but it's kind of cordoned off, so there's a pool there, like a man-made pool from the sea. So I went in with my husband there. He's a wimp. He wears a wetsuit. I just go in my swimsuit. But that was in October, and that was pretty freezing because it was a cold, windy, horrible day. Waves were there. The kids were standing at the side freezing, like, hurry up, mummy and daddy. But we went in for a wee swim, and then into Seacliff Beach on Boxing Day, and I got my brother and my brother-in-law to come in with me, and that was so much fun because it was freezing because it was Boxing Day, but the waves were so fierce that I didn't even like try and like sit down or swim. I basically just ran in to the waves, stood there for a few, and then we had to come out again because it was just too wild. I didn't want to sit down in case like I drowned. We didn't stay in very long that time, but it was so good. That was the first time I'd been in, and then came out and couldn't feel my feet, which was a little bit scary, but now I'm used to it. I've been going with my pal on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning to Thrippmuir Reservoir, and we're just into the habit now, and we know what we're doing, and we just go in, and longest I've stayed in is about 10 minutes. But we were there this weekend, yesterday, and I think we were only in about 6 minutes because the water was like glass. It was so still, it looked like it was about to freeze. I'd had to defrost my car in the morning, which is never a good sign. Thought, what are we doing? But yes, we think we're going to get some neoprene gloves and socks so that we can stay in longer, because the worst bit is coming out and it's all stony and you can't feel your feet anyway. Ouchie. Anyway, yes, that is my new thrill, some cold water swimming, and I'm going again this week. Have you ever had the fussy eating stage with any of your three, and how did you handle it? Well, really, my only fussy one is Phoebe. She has never liked mushrooms, has never liked tomatoes, and can just be funny depending on her mood. But I have never cooked her anything separate or anything. I just make whatever I'm making and tell her to pick out the bits she doesn't want if she doesn't want them. I never make a big thing about it. I'm just like, that's what we're having. If you're not hungry, then don't have it. If you don't want it, then tough. I'm harsh. But I mean, there's always something that she can eat. So, like tonight, we had this chicken chorizo pasta thing. I'd put red peppers and green peppers and onions, and I knew there was going to be some comment about the green peppers. She didn't actually comment on them, but she didn't eat them. So she just picked out the bits she didn't want. So there's at least chicken, chorizo and pasta that I knew she was going to eat. So she just eats those bits, and then we'll try to ignore her about the other bits. I don't know why I'm suddenly all blocked up. Oh, this is rubbish. I cannot be doing with another cold. Anyway, next question is, love your ground level trampoline. Does the hole under it fill when it rains? No. So my husband dug that hole single-handedly with his own bare hands, and he had the blisters to prove it over one weekend. He thoroughly researched it, spent ages figuring it all out, and got all the right equipment. So there's like a, what do you call it? Like a lining, tarpaulin, plastic lining thing, and he dug the hole in such a way that in the centre it's really, really deep, and it's filled with, I can't remember if he put sand in it, sand and stones, or maybe just stones, but anyway, there was a method so that the water drains away down into that hole. So no, it never fills, and if it is filling, I think it's done wrongly. Yeah, so it goes down kind of like in a funnel shape so that the water drains away. It's magic, I don't know. But he does say that if we ever move, he'll not be doing it by hand again, he'll get a machine. But it's brilliant. It's been a lifesaver, especially during lockdown when all they could do was go and bounce on that trampoline. So, I mean, they're on it most days, even if it's just a couple of bounces. It's really fun. I go on it too. Not good for the pelvic floor though. Next question is, how do I cater for veggies and non-veggies at dinner without feeling like I'm in the kitchen all day? Well, so on New Year's Day, I had quite a variety of dietary requirements to cater for. I always make steak pie for New Year's Day. So most of us were having steak pie that I made, but I also had pescatarians, and one of them doesn't eat dairy. No, she does eat. No, she doesn't eat dairy or gluten or nightshade vegetables. So that blows my mind. But what I did was I made the steak pie, and then I made a veggie pie filling that was also gluten-free and without dairy. Don't even ask me how I did that. I used soy milk. So I made like a roux from like dairy-free spread and soy milk, and put the veggies in that with like soy milk to make white sauce. And then the pastry, I had a veggie puff pastry, like normal puff pastry, and then a gluten-free puff pastry for her pie. So there was 3 pies, but then everybody could eat all the sides, of course. So potatoes, she can't eat potatoes even though that is a nightshade vegetable. I don't understand what's going on there. But yes, potatoes were fine. So everybody had roasties and then all the different veggies. I normally do a big dish of green veggies and a big dish of orange veggies. So like squash and carrots, and then in the green it would be kale, broccoli, green beans and peas maybe. And then a cauliflower cheese. I even made like dairy-free cauliflower cheese and gluten-free. Crazy. But yeah, I think the key is to make the majority of the things suitable for veggies or vegans, and then you just add some meat or dairy, whatever else on the side. So the bulk of things everyone can eat, and then just have random bits of meat. That brings me on to the next question, which is what's your favourite meal to host? And that would be a roast of some description, because the majority there is lots of different types of veggies, which I love. In fact, I'd be quite happy to eat just the veggies myself. And then you can have the main event, so beef or chicken, and gravy. Like everybody loves my gravy. Bisto powder, not granules, lemon and garlic. They are the key ingredients, and the juices from whatever meat I'm cooking. But yes, I love a roast because you can have lots of different sides, put it all on the table, looks like a big feast, bulk it out with Yorkies if you want, and just lots of different varieties of vegetables and nice crunchy crispy roasties. Yum. Um, what's your best advice for kids' birthday party planning? Ah, so I'm kind of over that now because when the girls were really wee, I did big crazy parties of like 50 odd kids. That was mental, like in a big hall. Sometimes I had them at my house. When I did that, I vowed never again to do it at my house. That many people. Um, but yeah, so now I think I've got it down to a T, a smaller amount of people. Choose a theme even before you send out the invitations. So you've chosen a theme, and then you can create your invitations online on like a Canva or something like that, and just don't even bother printing them. Just send it to the parents online, um, with a theme, and then choose like party bags and party bag filling things along that theme. Um, and then, so go to Pinterest, uh, put in the theme that you've chosen, and find some party decor and foodie items that match. Just a few though. Don't go OTT like I did back in the day. Just choose a few things that match the theme, and you're sorted. Keep it small. Keep it small. What's your favourite thing apart from eggs to cook? Yes, I do cook eggs a lot because I love them. They are probably the thing that I couldn't live without. They're so quick and easy and so nutritious and yummy. So probably something saucy like a curry or a stew, because you just chop up, throw in, let it simmer away, and then it's has a nice depth of flavour and lasts for ages, and you can reheat it really well and batch it, freeze it, and shove eggs on it. Show us your pantry. Oh, not today, no way, it's too messy. That'll be a video for another day. Last question that just came through as I'm filming this is about fussy eaters again and how to deal with it now. They were great when they were toddlers, but now that they're older, she's struggling. So I would suggest just continue to offer a variety of things. Sharing platters are a good way to get them to eat lots of different things. So I often just give the kids a platter of snacks, with all the different colourful veggies to tempt them. I notice that when we go for a Chinese meal, for example, when there's all sorts of dishes, it would be same with like tapas or whatever type of cuisine that has sharing dishes. I think the more likely to try things because they see everyone else just digging in there rather than having these things on their plate and they're like, oh, don't fancy that, don't fancy this. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on the matter. That's what I do with my kids, just give them everything and hope that they're going to eat it one day. Hope you enjoyed that and that those answers to those questions were helpful in some way or have given you some inspo for the week ahead. If there are any other questions that you'd like me to answer, then please leave them below or over on Instagram, anywhere, and I will do another video to answer those questions. Hope you all have a great week and I'll see you next time.